right into it, but before we do, can you share a little bit more about you? Specifically, what is EMDR? You actually made a little funny
Yeah.
post of like EDMR. It's not EDM, EMDR, and what is that? And what is the specialty? And specifically around body-based grief.
Yeah. So I'm a licensed mental health counselor and I'm EMDRIA certified in EMDR therapy. So EMDR stands for eye movement desensitization and reprocessing therapy. And it focuses on a couple different things. One, memory consolidation. So those memories that come to mind when you think about a negative experience, it helps us to really desensitize those so that when we think about them, they feel like something crazy that's happened in the past and not something that's presently happening in our bodies in this present moment. So that's the desensitization part of it. And then the reprocessing part of it is working through those narratives that we've created about ourselves as a result of the trauma or the narratives that we've created about the world. So, some examples of that might be I'm not safe, I'm not good enough, I don't matter, it was my fault, I'm to blame, I should have done something different. All of those
Mm,
things, we work to rewrite those narratives to say, I did the best I could, I am good enough, I do matter, my voice is important, all of those things that sometimes we get lost in our trauma, it's really a
mm,
reclaiming of our truth and our narrative that says, I did the best I could. If I could have done
mm.
anything different, I would have. I'm safe now. I'm a good person. I'm lovable. I'm worthy. All of those positive cognitions that we want to believe, that's the reprocessing part of EMDR. Now,
Mhm.
EMDR is an 8 phase trauma therapy. I feel like I like sometimes skip the meat and potatoes of it. So it actually is a therapy that uses what we call bilateral stimulation. So that can be like your eyes moving from one side of the screen to the other. A lot of times we'll follow a ball or a moving light. It can also be little things that vibrate back and forth in your hands, or it could be sounds that beat back and forth. We could do butterfly tapping. But the purpose of the bilateral stimulation or this like movement from side to side is to really engage the full brain while also keeping yourself very grounded in the present moment.
Mhm.
So when we reprocess trauma, a lot of times it's really difficult to keep yourself physically grounded in the present. And the last thing we want when we're talking or thinking about trauma is to go back to that space and relive it again. We've lived it
Mhm.
enough. Once was enough. The amount of times it comes up in our day to day life was enough. So we want to keep one foot really grounded in the present moment while reprocessing the trauma. And that bilateral stimulation really helps us to do that. So it's
Mhm.
really primarily meant for trauma, but trauma and grief overlap in such a way that they really can't be separated.
Yeah. Thank you for that explanation. And we did a little consultation. And I remember my understanding was the eye movement. So we had like a little light thing. I was like, oh, that actually bothers my eyes. Like, oh, well, we can do the stimulation the other way. So thank you for
Yeah,
explaining that there's so much,
absolutely.
there's other modalities that you can use to
Yeah,
get the same benefit.
yeah. I think if
Mhm.
the creator were still around of this therapy or the person that like coined the term EMDR, I think we'd call it something else like dual
Mhm.
awareness reprocessing, or we might call it,
Mm,
something that doesn't have to just do with eye movements because the eye movements themselves are not necessary, which is kind of
right.
funny. But
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I love that. Oh, maybe we'll rewrite, petition whoever needs to be petitioned to
yeah,
rename to
no
rename
kidding.
that.
Why not?
Oh, I love that.